and I discuss the shift that's already happening around us. Traditional career paths are becoming less predictable. AI is changing how work gets done. Companies are hiring differently, and many professionals are discovering that the skills that made them successful in the past may not be enough for what's next. My guest, Stacy Sutton, has lived through multiple waves of change, from building and selling an award-winning SEO agency to becoming a fractional CMO. We explored why entrepreneurial thinking is no longer just for founders. It's becoming a survival skill for everyone. Whether you work inside a large organization or you're building your own business or you're somewhere in between, this conversation will challenge you to think differently about ownership, adaptability, and creating your own opportunities. And then you chose to start your own SEO company right when
Did.
SEO was starting to be a thing.
Yep.
And you were, in my opinion, quite successful
Oh, thank
um, with your awards and then selling it. What do you think? I guess this is a twofold question. Do you think what we need to be teaching people now of all ages more of how to be an entrepreneur and how to get out there and find the work themselves? And how do we do that?
100%. Because as we see over and over and over again, there's no loyalty in the corporate world. I mean, the number of layoffs is astounding. I mean, I've had friends who've worked places for 30 years. I can think of a handful of people who've worked places 30 years who've lost their jobs in the last year. Um, and I think, with AI taking jobs, there's fewer employees needed. With this whole mentality of renting versus buying, I think more things are being outsourced, fractional, gig economy. I'm a fractional CMO myself, and I think it's a whole lot easier for a fractional CMO to find clients than for somebody, particularly somebody of my age, to find a full time job. It's just lower risk for companies, lower commitment, and it's a win-win too, because I get to own my own destiny and control who I work with and my daily agenda and all this stuff. But I do think there's a ton of opportunity out there for folks of all ages, and also especially with AI now. You come up with an idea for an app, you could have it done in a day, if not a few hours. But to your point, we have to teach people how to do this, how to be an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, how to set up a business. What about taxes? What about, my bank account, logistics like that? And most importantly, how to market and sell, or how to partner with people who do know how to market and sell. But even then, when you're just starting out, you don't have any budget for that. So, it's a whole lot of new skill sets that people need to learn. And I'll tell you, I'm still there even at this age. I mean, in this, I was fortunate when I started Prominent Placement, later Big Drum. I was the salesperson. In retrospect, I closed sales. I was in the right place at the right time. I got a lot of inbound, and I closed sales. Now I'm having to do outbound. I'm having to learn how to hunt. At this age, I've never really had to hunt. I'm learning how to hunt. So even today, I'm learning new skills all the time. And I think that's where we're going. Everybody's going to have to keep their skills fresh and keep learning and keep evolving and get out of their comfort zone, which is not easy. It can be done. It's easier for some people than others. Folks who are real introverted, don't have a lot of confidence. I think this new world is going to be a struggle. Um, but hopefully there'll be some resources to help those folks as well.
As Stacy reminded us, the people who thrive won't necessarily be the ones with the longest resumes. They'll be the ones willing to learn, experiment, and sell their ideas and continually evolve. If this episode challenged the way you think about your career or your business, share it with someone who's navigating change. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss future conversations about leadership, AI, and building a career that can adapt to whatever comes next. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.